Well, you probably made a smart move.
Yeah. This is a clean show.
We'll keep it that way. And we'll keep it moving to the next segment of the podcast where we give you some valuable information, some sustenance, some meat for your life. Joshua Ezzy has a clipboard full of notes.
Ready for your day.
Ready to share with you guys. My phone is fully charged, so he doesn't have to cut it short. Today, we're going to talk about how to prioritize your life.
Yeah.
Josh, I give you the floor.
Yeah, man. I have a lot of points I want to share with you guys and gals today. It shouldn't take me too long, maybe about a good 25 to 30 minutes. The way I exegete this, it should be precise and to the point. But today we're going to talk about, or the goal is to answer these 4 questions. Number 1, what are priorities? Number 2, why we don't prioritize correctly. Number 3, what should be priority in our lives? And number 4, how to prioritize our lives. Let's start with some scriptures to kind of anchor our roots in. 2 scriptures I want us to kind of process. There's some other scriptures that go with it, but real quickly. Luke chapter 12, verse 34 says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Matthew 6:33, which is a familiar scripture, is, "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." Let's answer the first question of what are priorities. BD will be able to chime in to some of these points. I have a lot of them that I want to get to, but I pray and believe that they're going to be beneficial to you all, because it's important for us to prioritize our life, because we are people of purpose. God has created us for a purpose, and there is a plan, a path, a pace that we're supposed to follow in order to fulfill what we was created to fulfill. Number 1, what are priorities? Let's talk about some definitions. One definition of priorities is something given or meriting attention before competing alternatives. Priorities are something given attention or meriting attention before competing alternatives. This definition was so profound that when I looked at it, BD, I was like, wow, this is very true, that there are always going to be things competing for the number 1 through 4 spots in your life. It is our responsibility to make sure that we prioritize our lives to ensure that the top 5 or 6 things are sealed, almost canonized, to the point to where these 4 things or 5 things are established, are supported, are secure. Because in life, there are going to be a lot of things competing for your attention, competing for your time, competing for your energy. But a person of purpose prioritize their lives because they know their life matters and the lives they're supposed to impact matters. My question to you is, have you prioritized your life? People of purpose prioritize their life. They think prior to their pursuits. They prioritize their lives because they know every day, every moment of their life matters. Now, the definition again, something given attention or meriting attention before competing alternatives. All of us have priorities, but most of our priorities are out of order. Some of us are giving top 3 energy to things that should be at the bottom of 15. We are giving things that should be getting at the 15th place, first place attention. And we wonder why our lives are unstable. We wonder why our lives are not producing the fruit that needs to produce. Now, why don't we prioritize? Real quickly, then we're going to get to some meat. Why don't we prioritize? Here we go. Here's a statement here. We are addicted to distractions and allergic to destiny-supported disciplines. The reason why we don't prioritize our lives is because we are addicted to distractions and are allergic to destiny-supported disciplines. It's crazy how many of us are addicted to distractions. We are in love with them. We are engaged with them. We care more about other people pursuing a purpose. We're more consumed with somebody else succeeding in life than focus on our own life. BD, when was the last time you watched a 3-hour NBA game? When was the last time you watched the NFL game to its full? When you get to a certain age, you can't really watch a 3-hour game. I go to Bleacher Report, Ball is Life, not Ball is Life, but I go to Bleacher Report, I go to Undisputed. Why am I going to focus my life watching somebody else make millions and I ain't made my first? Why am I going to watch 3 hours of somebody else succeeding and I haven't given any type of time to my life? I also contribute this to I had to downsize my ministry ambitions and endeavors. I refuse to gain the world and lose my family. I refuse to gain an audience and millions of subscribers and lose my family. Priorities matter. Distractions are inevitable. They're going to come, but a person of purposes moves them things out the way. So the reason why we don't prioritize our lives is because we are addicted to distractions and allergic to destiny supporting disciplines. We look at disciplines like it's a code, like it's a allergy. We are addicted to disciplines. We don't want to be disciplined in destiny supported things because destiny is hard to produce. Purpose is hard to produce. It's hard to be who you was created to be. A lot of things in this life is after your identity. If they're after your identity, they have ownership of your ideas. If they have ownership of your ideas, then you become a prisoner to the system. What is keeping you from supporting your destiny? Those who have their destiny in mind know the supporting disciplines they need and prioritize their lives accordingly to ensure that every day, every moment matters to them. Let's keep going. We are paying attention to things that will not beneficially pay us back. We are paying attention to things that will not beneficially pay us back. Attention is currency. Attention is money. It's like money. Pay attention. Anything that grasps your attention, you paid for that. Your attention is valuable. When I walk through the schools, I can tell who don't have a father in their life. I can tell who has a broken home in life because of the attention they try to garner from me. I can tell when somebody is hungry for attention based upon how often they post, what they post. Posting their relationship, that means they're insecure about the relationship. They posting so much about their life shows that they're not even really living their own life. We got to get to a place where we hold back our attention and pay it forward. Pay our attention to things that will not leave us in detention. Pay our attention to things that's going to keep us from that's going to help us succeed. What are you paying your attention on? Paying your attention on your phone, is it benefiting you? When you look at the end of your week and you look at your screen time, how much percentage has your screen time gone up? How much money have you made from paying your attention to Instagram, paying your attention to Facebook? How much money have you made back? How much, I know you got a bunch of laughter. I know you got a bunch of gossip. I know you got a bunch of that, but is that helping you? Is that benefiting you and yours? Let's keep going. We are addicted to distractions and allergic to destiny-supported disciplines. We are paying attention to things that would not beneficially pay us back. Now, wherever you pay attention to is going to pay you back. Either it's going to pay you forward or it's going to pull you backwards. Either way, you're going to get something back for where you paid your attention. We must be aware of what deserves our attention and how to delegate our attention. That's important. We must be aware of what deserves. Do you know the more value you put in your attention, the more the standards will raise around you? If for ladies, if men who see that you who see that you are committed to your standards, they have no choice but to raise their standards. A man who holds to his standards, the women either going to leave him or raise their standards. Like when you have the right type of standards in your life and you keep your attention, why do you think people fight for your attention so much? I guarantee it. The girl you really like, I bet you stop giving her attention, she'll come around. The guy you like, I bet you stop giving him attention. Everybody's after attention because a lot of people are insecure. Insecure people are looking for attention because your attention validates or gives them validation. Hold your attention back and focus on your priority. Let's keep going. Anything on that, BD?
Nope.
You good? Now, another problem is the reason why we don't prioritize, BD, is because we lack dignity. Let's keep going. Here is an order to this real quickly. This is just some systematic stuff to really help you process to see why you're not prioritizing your life. Real quickly. Divine acceptance or acknowledgement and destiny awareness and application. produces and sustains personal dignity. When I know that I'm divinely accepted, and through that divine acceptance, I always acknowledge the divine, right? And then I go and I am aware of my destiny, and I'm applicable and I'm applying within my destiny, my dignity is established. Your dignity should not be in anything created. Your dignity should come from the one who's divine, who is God. When you know that you divinely accepted and you know that you're a son or daughter of God, right? And in that communion and in that relationship with God, you begin to practice the acknowledgement of him to direct your paths. Like Proverbs 3 says, trust the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understandings, but in all your ways acknowledge him and he'll make your path straight, right? If you want your destiny and your path to be made straight, you have to understand who you are in God. Your divine acceptance and you acknowledging God for him to direct your paths, and your awareness of your destiny and the application that you put within the pursuit of it builds and establishes personal dignity. You know for a fact, hey, I don't need your acceptance. I've already been accepted by God. I don't need your support. I may want your support, but I don't need your support because I know God is going to order my steps. I'm too focused on my destiny to be distracted, worrying about why you're not focused on yours. And those two things produces and sustains personal dignity and personal development. When I know I am dignified and I know that I am valuable, I know I'm priceless, I increase my value. The reason why I will never be broke, the reason why I will always be in demand, the reason why I'm always going to be valuable to whatever marketplace God wants me to be in, because I know who I am in Christ and I'm daily developing. Because I know I'm accepted and I know my destiny matters. Let's keep going real quickly. Which will produce and sustain personal dignity and personal development, which will initiate disciplines and will deepen your discernment. I know you may have to watch this over again because I done already lost BD. But if you follow me, see, BD is not, let me tell you something about BD. BD is not conditioned with my material, right? So when I give these points like that, he's not used to that. You know what I'm saying? He's used to those cotton candy, sugar coated stuff. You know what I'm saying? But when but when I give that steak and potatoes, when I give them fresh collard greens with the cornbread that's going to sit in your stomach for a while, he can't hold it. That's why that's why he's lost right now. Let's keep going. But for those who's been following me for some time, you love these points. BD's like, bro, why you got all these D's? He's not used to that. He's used to 3 points of benediction and y'all out for the next service to come in. For me, I'm going to give you that work. I'm going to give you that gospel. I'm going to give you that truth. You see what I'm saying? Which will initiate disciplines and deepens your discernment. See, those who are on purpose, they understand discipline and they respect discernment. Discernment lets you know, helps you to decipher where you should delegate your attention. If I know there's a devil in this woman, there's a devil in this opportunity, if I can discern that there is nothing divine in what is presented to me, then I won't allow that to compete with my canonized top 5. We won't be able to compete with what's most important. What are you allowing to compete with the things that should be the most important things in your life? It's crazy how we play down to the competition. We play down to what's competing with what we shouldn't be allowed to compete in our lives. Let's keep going. Anything on that, BD?
Oh. I don't know when you're going to ask me to chime in. So
here we go. BD. See how when you're a preacher, there's introduction. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you in the beginning, I let you ride. The introduction, you know what I'm saying? Let me give the people the points. Let me set the stage.
Okay.
The problem and the cause. Now we're going to get to some solutions where BD would be able to chime in. Okay. The next 2 questions we're going to answer, or 2 points we're going to talk about, is what should be priority in our lives and how to prioritize our lives. Now, of course, you know, the boy, the kid, the Slim Rev, the preacher got priority broken down by letter. You see what I'm saying? What should be priority in our lives? P, P, real quickly, BD, you can chime in. We want to try to get through these quickly because there's a lot of points, but they're meaningful points, okay? What should be priority in your life? I think I said that right, BD?
Mm-hmm.
You the English major. What should be priority in lives? P, what should be priority? What should be top priority in your life? Your personal time with God, yourself, and key people. What should be top priority in life is your personal time with God, yourself, and like I said, key people. Nothing should come before God. Nothing should come before you after God, and nothing should come before key people. Now, what I mean by that? God, you, them. God, number one. I had to work through this early on in my life because ministry and God were equal to me in my mind. Then I realized I was developing habits that will eventually hurt my family, which was actually hurting me. Your personal time with God, man, that should be priority. Your relationship with God should not surround your life. Your life should surround your relationship with God, period. You shouldn't try to fit God in your life. You should try to fit things into God. What most people do is, I'll try to get to God. I'll see what I can do. No. God must be number one, and he must be in the center of everything. That's what keeps your list tight. Because if God is number one and he's at the center of every other thing, then sinful things, unmerited, unwanted things would not be in your life because God would not be in the center of sin. God would not be in the center of idolatry. So then you will begin to prioritize your life correctly. But it begins with your personal time with God. Who gets more time, your phone or God? Who gets more time? Who gets more attention from you? The top thing you should make priority is your personal time with God. Next, your personal time with yourself. You're no good if you don't develop. It is selfish not to develop. Selfish people do not develop. I have to develop so my wife can have a dope husband. I have to develop so my children will have a great father. I have to develop so that God can trust me with greater revelation. See what I'm saying? But what happens is we put everything else before God and ourselves, and we're no good to anyone else. You got to have personal time with you to get to know you. And secondly, you got to have, thirdly, personal time with key people. Now, many people say, well, Josh, why did you put you before your family? I got to make sure I take care of me. If I don't take care of me, if I'm not well, how would I do well to them? Key people is key, BD. People be putting the wrong people before their family. Listen, no matter what, my wife comes before any other human being. Children will come before any other human being. Then everybody else. When you prioritize that correctly, you'll be able to find a unique balance that's graced by God, helping you to be what you need, be who you need to be, to God, yourself, and others. Anything on that, BD?
A couple of things. So like, yeah, definitely when you talk about your, the prioritizing your time with God, and it is important to, have that personal time with God that you spend, specifically like just you and God praying, talking to God. But you hit on it a little bit as well, but your relationship with God and your time with God encompasses your entire life and your entire day. So that's everything that you do, incorporating God in everything that you do as you make decisions throughout the day. Right. Bouncing it off God, talking to God, praying in the spirit. Hey, God, what do you want me to do in this situation? As you interact with your wife on your way home from work, before you interact with your wife, hey, just a quick prayer to God, or maybe listen to some uplifting music, whatever the case may be. But throughout your entire life, your entire day, you're incorporating God in that. So that is where God is really that number one priority. And it does start with that time that you spend specifically, I like to do it at the beginning of the day, but with God, because that sets the tone to have him enter in to the rest of your day. And then another point that I wanted to highlight as well, and a lot of times it happens for women, is they will, prioritize God, but they will prioritize their family before they prioritize themselves. And I think it's just kind of more of their nature, even more so than we do, is to, I have to battle with my wife all the time. It's like, babe, take care of you. Take care of yourself. You're no good to the kids. You're no good to me if we're not getting the best version of you.
That's
and
right.
We're not getting the best version of you if you're not taking time, stepping away, get some time to rest, get some time to relax, get a manicure, do what you need to do, get a massage, make sure that you are good and you can handle what you need to handle. And sometimes that falls on us as the husbands. Sometimes you have to step in. And I think that's something that I had to learn. I'm still learning, is that sometimes I have to step in and be like, hey, babe, look, I'm taking the kids. You go away. Like, go away. Because for a long time, I would just tell her, hey, babe, do what you got to do. Take care of yourself. And I would take care of myself. I'm going to go to the gym and de-stress. I'm going to, do the things that I need to do, to keep myself where I need to be mentally. But sometimes women won't do that. And that's an important point that you make. God, take care of yourself. Do the things that you need to do for yourself. Improve yourself. Do some self-development. Work on your purpose. Don't lose yourself in your marriage to your husband and your service to your kids. Don't lose yourself in what your purpose is, and then take care of those people who are closest to you.
Listen, man, the right one that God has for you will never let you lose themselves in them. Will never let you lose yourself in them. That's why you got to make sure God give you the right one, because that person's going to make sure. Thank you all so much for watching the Good Guys podcast here on my YouTube channel. If you haven't already yet, make sure you subscribe to the Good Guys podcast here. If you want to enjoy the rest of the content of this podcast, click this video over here. Make sure you hit the bell. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, a thumbs up. If you're watching this on Facebook, head over to YouTube right now. Type in the Good Guys podcast. We'll love to see you over there. Subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, thumbs up. We'll see you over there soon.